welcome back to the EmpowHer Journal, a space to create the life you want to live. In this podcast, we explore stories of resilience, purpose, and impact. And on that note, I have a very interesting point of view today. This episode will be about a startup story. But most startup today stories begin with big ideas, pitch decks, chasing scale, and vanity matrices. But today's conversation is different. We are talking about women in corporate who are secretly chasing the dream of starting up. Elders who are often ignored in the startup world. And a Chennai-born founder who keeps choosing the meaningful lane over the glamorous one because she's not just building businesses, she's building ecosystem around care, culture, and community. This is a conversation with Arasi Arul, a serial entrepreneur, elder care founder, and a Devatai investor in women-founded startups. Arasi, it's such a pleasure to have you here.
Hi Devagi, thanks for having me here. I know it's been like such a long time that we've been planning this and we at last were able to do this. I'm so glad.
Yeah. Okay, I'll immediately start out because I have a lot of questions to ask you. So,
Okay.
if I were to explain who you are to someone who doesn't know your name, please take us back a bit. How did a Chennai-born woman end up in this very unconventional startup lane?
And so if I'm meeting a complete stranger, I will usually say I'm Arasi Arul, I'm the founder of 60 Plus. That's my current company. I will never say beyond it. And also it depends on the person who meets me. If the person is not connected to any of the startup ecosystem or anything, it will usually 60 plus because they resonated a lot with it. But if it's someone from a women's sector, someone who is in the culture sector, someone who is working for the empowerment of women, then I will introduce myself with TN Women, which is my investment company.
Okay. So now tell me about your unconventional startup lane thought process.
Okay, my brother usually jokes, he just sent me a post today saying that there is this quintessential cafe in Jaffna which talks about Tamil culture and all that. And then he said, Akka, you did this in 2009. And he always jokes that, Akka, I'll just go in Tamil for a minute. He'll say, Akka, நீ வந்து கமல் மாதிரி அவரோட படத்தை எடுத்து வச்சுட்டு 10 வருஷம் கழிச்சு ரிலீஸ் பண்ணாதான் ஓடுங்கிற மாதிரி உன்னோட ஸ்டார்ட் அப் ஐடியாவை எல்லாத்தையும் எடுத்து வச்சுட்டு ஒரு 10 வருஷம் கழிச்சு தான் நம்ம வந்து ரன் பண்ணணும். தட்ஸ் when it will be the best hit அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவான். And so yes, I started off company and the first company I did was a wedding registry. And it was a super flop because we didn't have internet, we didn't have GPay, we didn't have the only way to pay money to someone was cash, or you go to a bank and write a check and the check has to go. We didn't even have RTGS and NFT and all that. Okay, and so a check has to go from point A to point B. This was in 2006. And so that's how when I started my wedding registry company, it was way ahead of its time then. It flopped after 18 months and then I started a training institution which was like what people do right now. And so in my training institution, what I did was basic personality development training, but then I took our mythologies, I took the small கிளை ஸ்டோரின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, கிளை கதைகள்னு, சிலப்பதிகாரத்தில் இருக்கட்டும், சிவகசிந்தாமணியாக இருக்கட்டும், ராமாயணமாக இருக்கட்டும், குட்டி ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு பாத்வே சைடில் போயிட்டு ஒரு குட்டி கதை இருக்கும். I'll take that and I kind of created a whole curriculum for conflict resolution or how to attend an interview or group discussion. Any of these, I took such small stories and I created a whole curriculum for personality development. So this was then I started a coffee shop called Cafe, which was a Tamil themed coffee shop, the first in the world. And we had Karpati coffee and Suku coffee and Bhaji and Bonda way back in 2009. And then my brother did a company called Shycart, which was the first again in its sector, where you sell products which you're shy to buy in a physical store, personal hygiene and sexual wellness product. And so I worked with them in marketing and finance a lot. And of course, and then 60 plus happened. I started observing a lot. And so I will observe in such a way that, I find problems which not regular people will be seeing. That's how I did Cafe, that's how I did wedding registry, that's how I did 60 plus, that's how I did the training institution, that's how every single, even TN Women happened like that. TN Women, I started to invest in a women founder. And so I think I just see the ones which are missed And so I find there's a huge opportunity, and then I try to start something in that sector.
Okay. When you started a Tamil themed cafe with boats, board games, and a giant INR at the entrance, for most people it looked like a quickie cafe. But for you, was it already a business rooted into something bigger, or what was your vision on that?
No, I basically like bhaji, vada, bonda, and all that stuff. And the only places you can actually get them are roadside vendors. And so I didn't like to go stand on a roadside place to eat bhaji. Typically, Cafe started only for that reason.
Okay.
I am like a crazy fan of coffee and a big fan of bhaji. And so the reason I never thought big, okay, but then the minute when I wanted to start coffee shop, I know that my quirkiness or my thought of the way I think differently jumped in, and I didn't want anything to be the regular and so see, in 2009 there were only 3 coffee shop. I think there was Quickies, and then there was this place in Nungambakam, and there was Cafe Coffee Day. There were only 3 coffee shops in whole of Chennai. Cafe Day had a lot of branches, and then Quickies had a few branches, and there was this one coffee shop in Nungambakam which was very, very famous, which was the high-end coffee shop, which was like where the cool dudes will hang out. அங்கே அந்த இதெல்லாம் வச்சுருந்தாங்க, அந்த ஹுக்காலாம் வச்சுருப்பாங்க. There was only place in Nungambakam, I forgot the name of it. And so அதை தவிர்த்து வேறு காஃபி ஷாப்பே இல்லை. Mocha, yeah. அதை தவிர்த்து வேறு காஃபி ஷாப்பே இல்லை. So when I wanted to have a place, and then it just happened.
Right. That's exactly how it felt for us also, See, when most founders start with a SaaS idea or a marketplace, you started with vibes, culture, and food. Also, you literally put a giant INR at the entrance of a cafe in a startup city obsessed with disruption and then lean models. How did people react when they saw that? And what does that tell us about your relationship with risk and convention?
I don't know about risk and courage. But when I wanted to start this coffee shop, I called up a few of my friends who usually hang out in coffee shops 24/7. During that period I think 2007, 8, 9 was when I completed college, and I went joined when I started doing the business and all. And that time only the cool and the most cool kids will hang out in coffee shops. And so I had a few cool friends from college whom I called up, particularly as actually my seniors. And so I think I made like around 50 calls, and I told them that I'm going to start this coffee shop, and I gave them the explanation. I told them what we're going to sell, how it is going to be, and everything. Each of them told me that it's a bad idea.
Oh.
Everyone told me it's going to be a disaster. There was not a single person who told me, go ahead, do it, it's nice, it's fun, it's great. Everyone's told it's bad, but all the 50 people used to hang out in my coffee shop till the day I sold it. And so they were always there after. And so that's something I listened to all the 50 of them. I didn't put the phone down after the first 5 calls. It's not that I was never in touch with them. I'm still very good friends with most of them. Few of them we've lost touch, but then most of them I'm still very good friends with. But none of them actually encouraged me. And so that was the first scenario when I started my coffee shop. With the INR seller and everything, I think it's just the designs, you tell me any business ideas. I think my mind will go in 7 parallel routes, and out of the box, out of the square, out of the circle, and I'll think how to do it very, different way. And so, to me, INR seller was normal.
Okay.
People loved it. They loved it, okay. I had never had even one people come and tell me that it's bad or it's a dumb idea. Everyone loved it. In fact, remember the program which you came in in that program also, someone stopped me and he told me that I love Cafe.
Yes.
And then 2 weeks back I went to another program by Underdogs or something, and there was someone who stopped me and she said, I known you since Cafe days. And so Ra is very close to a lot of people. Even like 3 weeks back, someone told me start Black Cafe again.
Yes, you should.
I keep hearing a lot about Ra, at least like once in a month someone will come and tell me that.
Okay.
I still have the company is sold off, but I still have the patent for the name in the Ra Cafe and the logo and everything. I still own it.
Oh.
And so I can start it anytime, maybe a few years down the lane.
You should definitely. See, honestly, life has way of using personal chaos as a business idea. And for you, the moment came when the pandemic hit and you were suddenly helping friends abroad figure out how to take care of their parents in India. I believe that's so 60 plus would have started.
Right, you're spot on. Yeah.
So walk us through the moment. What were you actually doing on the ground? Like talking to elders, coordinating, arranging care. Like I would say it as managing stress from both the ends. So how did that turn from a favor you do for your friends into a full-fledged business model?
Okay, there are a few things which I learned from my father's hospital / clinic / labs. Anyone who says they are a doctor, my father will do the test for them for free. And anyone who's his friend will get free services. They didn't have to pay a rupee to get those services, and so I've seen that, and I realize it's bad for business.
Okay.
And so I always told myself that if at all any day I'm going to start any business, there's not going to be any freebies for friends and family. And so what I did was, even if you had come to my coffee shop and you are my very best friend, the person will bring in the bill, and in front of you I will pay the bill for you. It's not that I want my best friend to pay for the coffee, but I will make sure that my best friend knows that she's not going to pay it, but I am paying it in the coffee shop, because she understands that business. And my friend will not say anything, because if you're a best friend and if you know that Arasi is going to spend like lakhs and lakhs on her, she knows that Arasi will spend on her and she's not expecting her to pay. So I've seen what happened in my dad's business, and then I didn't want to repeat it. And so when I did 60 plus, and after helping a few of my friends for a few months, when I started it off, when it became a business, it was hardcore business. We never did the services for free. I never had any hesitation in asking for the payment. I would be upfront right with them. The minute they call me, I would say, yes, this can be done. This is the rates. This is how it is going to be done, and all that.
Okay.
And so when I built it, it was not really difficult to move from the friend service part to an actual business part, because people know me. People who know me are the ones who had reached out to me in the initial days, and they know me how I ran Ra Cafe. And so it was never a problem for them. And what happened on grounds was, I became very depressed during the COVID season when running 60 plus. I saw so many deaths. I saw so many sad moments because of COVID and because of senior citizens living alone. I was in a constant state of depression. I used to get so worried for my parents and grandparents, and I used to cry. In fact, the beginning days of 60 plus affected me mentally so much, because I am a sensitive person. I have this huge affinity to my grandparents, and so 60 plus is like a tribute to my grandfather. There were days when I used to cry just when I tell this to people, but I think I've become okay now. And so it affected me a lot very personally, because of all the sufferings I've seen. I've seen what happened. I've seen, like, the good side and the bad side. Sometimes it's happy tears, sometimes it's a self-pity, like, what is going to happen to me. Sometimes thinking of both of that particular person, sometimes thinking about my parents and grandparents. But then it affected me a lot. Almost for a year and a half, I was like in depression. I put on weight to like around 20 kgs more because of all the stress. And then I had to learn to control it. I had to get emotionally detached from it. My father being a doctor, and then doctors see a lot of death, right? And so with all this, a lot of self-talk, talking to my mother, who's like mostly my counselor and all that, I think it took time for me, almost 2-3 years, to get out of it from an emotional angle.
All right.
And so on ground, there were like lots and lots of incidents, Devaki. N number of incidents. I don't know. Maybe some other time, some other talk.
So I'm thinking both logistics and emotions.
Yes. It becomes very difficult at one point of time. But there was this senior citizen whose husband had passed away, and she, being a proper Tamil wife who got married when she was 13, and she's some 64, 65 now, 50 years. She doesn't know anything. Everything the husband has taken care of. She didn't know where the Aadhaar card was. She didn't know where the Aadhaar card was at home. They lived somewhere in Vanagaram. I had to travel from Adyar to Vanagaram, go to a house, ransack the house for like a day and find out the details.
How do you stay emotionally sustainable in this work? Because
I didn't. Like I was telling you, right? I was a mess for 2 years. It took me a lot of time to get out of that.
Because caring for elders, planning for the safety, still running a business.
True. It was terrible. It was actually terrible. Particularly the emotional part was very difficult because I'm a very sensitive person in this angle, and so I immediately got connected with every single aspect of their problem. But then, even though being so emotional, I never had a problem to say that pay up the money. So that was always clear. But then, personally, emotional side was little, the harsh truths were bad.
Not an easy work.
Yeah, it was very difficult.
Okay. That requires a different level of strength, I would say.
No, actually, I was not strong enough, Deviki. I was not strong enough. I think I went into a lot of depression because I was not strong enough. It took a lot of time for me to get out of it. Even like last night, I had like all this thought coming into my mind. And so then I had to shut it down. I've learned a method to shut it down and not go into it, not fall for that trap again. And so it takes a lot of work.
Yeah. So what keeps you grounded through all of this?
Because I feel that anything I've done is 70% luck and like only 30% of my work, and so I still haven't done what I should do with 100% of it.
Okay. So on one side you're building this elder care. You're become a Devatai investor on the other side, focusing on
it's the angel investor. Okay, and so Nachuma.
Very I love the term Devatai. It's not just fancy. It is actually making it's like divine support for women founders. You just don't mentorship. You will be with them, kind of perspective. So you're already doing a portfolio thing. So what does it mean to you personally?
The whole Teen Women Investment Company or the Devatai investment or the angel investment started because of I have this very strong cause for child sexual safety or sexual abuse and safety for women and kids. Back in 2018, there was an incident where a deaf and dumb kid was abused by a few guys for over 3 months in an apartment, and that actually triggered a lot. And I went ahead with another organization called Peace, and we did a video with Sivakarthikeyan on the sexual abuse awareness video. It's called Modi Viryada Papa. Maybe I'll send you the link someday, and it was given for free in the platforms. And so even since then, I used to do a lot of these programs for kids in government schools to understand about sexual abuse awareness and how to handle it and all that. And so in I think it was 2022, 2023, when I went for a program in Trichy, there was this college girl who had created a watch. They say 90 to 95% of the cases which happens on sexual abuse or kidnapping or not the teasing part, but the rest of the things on women is premeditated. That is, they already the perpetrator is he is already defined who is going to be the girl, what he's going to do, how he's going to do. And so creating an app which you can press for safety is the most non-useful thing, because what happens is the perpetrator is first going to take your phone and throw it away. And now everyone knows about your smartwatches, and so the next thing he's going to do is take your smartwatch and throw it away. Okay, and so this girl had created an analog watch in which there is going to be an SOS chip and a GPS tracker. But the device was this big. It was so thick, this thick and this big. And so then I went to her and I told her, make it this small so that I can retrofit in any of my watches. And so that will be useful for all the women out there across the globe. And I told her, I will fund it for you. And that's how TN Women was born. That's how the whole investment angle was born, and so hence they invested.
Lovely.
Because it's mostly for the women.
So if you could change one thing about how women pitch to investors, what it would be?
Women are always looking for validations. Am I right? Is this okay? I think it's just not on pitching angle, but generally, if women kind of change that attitude, see, we don't need to be very arrogant about it, but it will be better if we are stern enough to say not look for validations. I would just say that. It's not only for pitching, not only for investment pitching, but even for corporate women who want to talk to their boss on negotiation of their salary or a conflict resolution, or presenting their ideas, whatever it may be. They don't need to be arrogant, but at the same time they don't have to seek validation every time they talk on anything at all.
Okay. Honestly, most women in their 30s or 40s are juggling everything. You said family, homes, careers, and still trying to find energy for all the side hustle. What mindset shift do you think they need to make?
There are so many times when I have thought that they should not come saying that they know everything. See, I have friends who've done through birthday parties of their kids, okay, and they think they can become an event manager.
Okay.
No, it's happened. There are friends of mine who baked a cake for themselves and their kid and their husband, and then they want to start a bakery. Large scale production and bakery or an event management company, all these are very different from doing a hobby. Cannot be a business, and women should realize that. That's one thing that they should realize. But of course, a hobby can become a business if and only if this women can listen to mentors, understand it's not an easy job, it's going to take some time and effort and money and sleepless nights to get where they have to be.
Very true. People could very much relate to what you're mentioning right now. So, what is the first thing a woman in corporate especially should do before quitting her job? Because salary plays a major role in for her to decide.
Not only women, men too should plan their finance. Because if, say, someone is getting 40,000, someone is getting 1 lakh, someone is getting, 90,000, and suddenly there's going to be a hole there. Not only that, there is going to be a dip from their savings. See, because under 90,000, மாசம் வரதும் நிக்குது. ஒரு savings வச்சதுலேருந்து you have to start taking money.
True.
And so it's just not that one revenue which is stopped, but your savings is also going to get depleted. And so that's the first thing the people have to plan. Any men or women who's starting a business should plan. Startup is fancy, business is fancy, your own time, you're the own boss. No, it's all it's always grass is always greener on the other side. There are so many times when I have thought that I should wrap all this up and go and find a job and sit and do it.
Okay, now I have one more local question. So what do you think Chennai are using as a competitive advantage in entrepreneurship? Is it the language, a family?
What we have or what we don't have?
What we have is underusing it. We are not actually utilizing it properly.
I think our technical skill set.
Okay.
See, very honestly, we Tamil people know, except for a few segments, we are not really good in running a business, because we can't say no. We can't go and ask for money which is owed to us. There is a lot of problem. We've been in a household where we've been asked to be humble. They say don't raise your voice. It's like that. I've been to this Marwadi household where I was recently in one Marwadi shop where this kid who was hardly 17-18 who was sitting there, and he was doing this bad job. His father, his grandfather, everyone was there, but they never connected him in front of me. They politely told him after he did his first job to wait, and then they'll have the second one. But imagine this had happened in my house with my tata or my appa. Right in front of them, they would have told me, you are a waste, don't do this, go back home.
Right.
And so I think as a culturally South, ideally Tamil people, at least I can speak for Tamil people, we are raised to not to say no. We are raised not to ask for the money which is owed to us. We don't have good negotiation skills. I went to engineering because my parents forced me to. And so I could never tell no. See, my coffee shop was till 11 o'clock or something. I had a curfew of 8 p.m. at home. And so I had to be at home at 8 p.m. But my coffee shop was closed by someone and it was open till 11 o'clock or so. And so see, I was running a business, I was making good money. I never had the guts to tell my folks that no, listen, my coffee shop is open till 11, I have to be there till 11. Yeah, I went home at 8 o'clock sharp.
All right. Yeah, it's culturally and also the way we, like you rightly pointed, the way we connect with our elders and tradition, it's quite complex sometimes. Could there be a whole genre of startups that are explicitly Tamil-centric but still scalable across India?
Yeah, I think
and the Tamil...
They have a lot of people in these recent times have come up like that. Multiple startups have come up like that. Tunai AI is there. There's another company which is again, very Tamil name, but they're building globally. Lot of companies have come up like that. I know a lot of companies which have like proper Tamil name. Kaigal company, they are doing very well. And so there are a lot of companies which have like nice Tamil centric culture, but they are building across India and across the globe.
All right. Okay. Thanks for the intense and honest answers, Arasi, because I think we touched upon just the way it is. It started from the roots, the culture, the value system, and the entrepreneurship ecosystem, and women specific, and the multiple genre kind of works that you do. So let's lighten up a moment. I would like to do a quick round of lighter questions with you, like no pitches, no deck, just real talk and rapid fire. Okay?
Sure.
So when you started Ra Cafe, what was the most unstartup-like thing you did?
Oh, nothing was a startup-like thing when I started Ra Cafe. It was absolutely a mess. I learned everything. I used to buy the milk and the bread from a local shop. I didn't even know there was something called the wholesalers where you can get it in a cheaper rate. I was buying in retail actually. It took me like 3 months to understand that if you're a commercial thing, you have to go buy from a wholesaler so that their cost is less. I didn't even know that when I started, and so I did all the mistakes a newbie will do for the startup, and so it was such a learning curve.
Okay, so if you could start a completely new business using only Tamil language and culture, what it would be?
Right now, I have a sports idea. So if now I have this plan for 60 plus for the next 5 years, and so if 3 years down the lane, if things goes the way that I wanted, I'll do this sports startup.
Right. All the very best. And
Thank you.
What's the most misunderstood thing about being an investor in women founders?
That just because you're a woman, you will get invested from women focused funds.
Okay, that's a good one. In fact, I didn't expect that answer.
No, even what end of the day, it's the money and we want the money back. It's just going to go to a well-deserved woman who's been denied chances elsewhere, but it doesn't mean that your business is not up to the mark. Then just because you're a woman, it cannot be invested. It needs to satisfy certain criteria to get that investment.
Absolutely. Okay, and here is the last one. If you had to describe your career in one Tamil movie title, what would it be?
I don't know, Michael Madana Kamarajan. Had all the 4 things. I had multiple things happening at multiple times, and then there's this point where everything converges and it gets crazy.
That would be a perfect title.
I like this question. Right, I should actually put up a LinkedIn post because of that. I like this question and I like my answer as well.
So before we wrap up, thank you so much, Arasi, because
Thank you, Devagi.
To speak directly to the women listening right now, especially those in corporate in their 30s or 40s who are quietly thinking about starting something, but I don't really feel ready yet. Please get introduced to Miss Arasi Arul. Also, if you thought entrepreneurship was all about night coding, aggressive growth, hustle culture, this conversation with Arasi is your gentle reality check. And because this is a woman who started with cafe that smelled like Tamil nostalgia, turned elder care into a business that families abroad actually depend on, and with a lot of trust. and now invest in women founders as a Devatai. Lovely. And she's not only writing checks,
Thank you.
writing new stories. So if this is a reminder, if you're a woman in corporate secretly dreaming of starting up, or someone who cares about parents, elders in your life, or just a person who wants to see entrepreneurship that's rooted in culture and compassion, this is the episode for you. You will come back to. This is EmpowHer Journal. And Arasi, if listeners wants to connect with you, whether as a founder, as an elder seeker, or just a fellow woman building a non-cliche path, how can they reach you?
Best is LinkedIn. I'm very active there. Like I think, we also connected over LinkedIn, right? Like the minute you're connected LinkedIn, and if I kind of think that is something which I can genuinely do for you, then we can move our conversation to our emails. I think you should go and search for Arasi Arul, and then if you can't find me, then Arasi Arul, and then give a space and search for 60+.
All right. So, and to everyone listening, if this conversation resonated with you, don't forget to follow and subscribe to the EmpowHer Journal so you never miss conversation like this. Share this with someone who's been thinking about starting something of their own sometimes. All it takes is one story to spark their journey. Until next time, we are available on Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, and Apple Podcast. Keep creating the life you want to live. This is EmpowHer Journal. Nandri.